Why do you want to do what you want to do? Where are you at? And who do you want to do it with? And what do you want to do? But today we're going to talk about why. Is it something you're looking to correct that's outside of you? Or is it something that just don't feel right within you? Peace. Travis Soda. It's Pure Sound Daily Business. Talking about internal and external motivations. Of course, anytime we're talking about the internal and external, we could swap those words with introvert and extrovert. We could also, as I'm beginning to lean into my spiritual school of thought and my esoteric knowledge, introvert, extrovert, internal, external, masculine, feminine. The masculine being the outward flowing energy, the feminine being the receiving, the inward flowing energy. So the feminine energy relates to introvert, internal. The masculine energy relates to extrovert, external. Again, we're talking about energy. We're talking about principles, not body parts. And what you have and what you don't have with body parts. This is a part of the 7 principles of Tahuti, 7 principles of Hermes. And these 7 principles are the machinations of how reality in its totality works. And I would say the level down under that is where the cognitive energies begin. But we ain't getting into all that right now. We talking about why you want to do what you want to do. And I said all that so you could locate, you could find, you could be aware of where your motivations lie. So this is going to be a personality type demonstration. Mainly just introverted and extroversion as I build my expertise in that and aim to be the best in the world at breaking down personality type relating to introversion and extroversion. First off, what's commonly thought about introvert and extrovert is that, extroverts like people, introverts don't like people. Introverts don't like events and being around people and doing things. Extroverts are outgoing and always moving around. That may be, those are behaviors. That may be sometimes it's not. It's not true for everyone. What extrovert and introversion is where we go in relation to the information we get from life. And extroverts are able to see themselves in the object, in the thing, in people. They're seeing themselves outside of themselves. Where introverts, whatever we see, whatever we experience, we got to go within ourselves. We got to put our own spin on it. So the very classic, although we say this for a certain function, but just to extend it for the stereotypical extrovert is you're seeing things as they are. And therefore, within yourself, you're seeing the thing as it is. Where introverts, I'm seeing something, but within myself, I'm putting my own spin on it. I had an instance the other day. I was speaking with someone and they made a comment and I followed up with them about that comment later, but I just used what I heard. See, this is where these things come to mind. Now, we all have introverted parts of ourselves and extroverted parts of ourselves. So again, we're talking very stereotypically and we're talking very isolated. But all of us have introverted and extroverted parts of ourselves. So this is where it's on you, and even in personality type, if you're into that, don't let anybody tell you who you are. Oh, you're an extrovert. Oh, you're an introvert. You pay attention to how you move throughout life and where you go inside of yourself. Or do you stay in the experience, in the moment, looking at what's going on and taking that for what it is? You know, into other people, again, into the experience, into the object. Is that where you go? For instance, I'm working with someone and her primary way is to go within herself and to check on how she's feeling with something. Now, here's where you have to give yourself permission. You have to get awareness and then give yourself permission to be that. And that is, if you know, or you begin to understand that you're making moves primarily on how you feel, it's not that you need to stop acting on how you feel. You actually need to go deeper, and you need to do it better. I think there's a misconception that we call them personality type. There's a stack, and it's kind of numbered 1 through 4. It's really 1 through 8, but just because you use a certain cognitive energy, it's your favorite way to use it, it's your number 1, doesn't mean you do it good. And honestly, I think that's our journey here, is to learn how to use all our functions good. But the number 1's the number 1. And sometimes it's how we judge things. Other times it's just how we take in information. So we can learn a lot from psychological type in this sense. I like ideas. I like abstract ideas, namely the future, or namely how people think. How people think and how people think and how that has them doing what they do. Because I always have the question of, why did somebody do that? So I'm very interested in how people think, which is why we're here. Your why. Why do you do what you do? Is it a deep value you have? I relate values and vision to an internal. I'm using these very loosely. It's my system. These are my words, my definitions, the pure sound method. And that your vision and your values is your internal why, where the mission and the goals are your external why. There's no wrong or right. It's only awareness to find out how you care. Tap into that energy and move yourself forward. So tapping into a mission or goals. For me, I guess my biggest mission is to leave a legacy. And the way I look at it is, and there are goals I have on the journey to leaving a legacy. And of course, having a legacy, that's a pretty big vision. But as I'm talking about the mission of what I want to do, I want to leave a lasting school of thought. And my big goal is to literally have buildings, places where people can go, where serious people can come together, intellectuals can come together, professionals can come together, a learning community. I wonder what market that's in. I wonder who my competitors are. So with this online education, just starting there, right? The intangible. Speaking my thought into the microphone, into the ethers of the interwebs, and hopefully it catches your ear, catches your mind. So that's my mission. Leave legacy. Have a school of thought. That is a legacy, right? That outlasts me. There are a lot of goals on that journey, right? But let's pull it back. Main goal, main focus right now is to be out of my JOB by the end of this year, 2024, excuse me. That's funny. 2024, end of 2024, beginning of 2025. That is my main focus. Now, internally, again, this is part of the bigger vision for my life. But now we talk about vision and values. This really came down to I want to spend more time with my son. I want to be able to provide for my family. All right, so to pull the vision back from we had a big vision, leaving legacy, this, that, and the other, but let's talk about this life. Talk about the here and now. You know, the goals, doing podcasts, creating curriculum, right? Creating courses, products for people to tap into. Having webinars, plan on having live events. Giving value, right? Talk about a value piece. Is to give value to people. Create value for myself, give it to others. You know, these are all my why. Why I do what I do. Mainly, this demonstration really wanted to break down. It's okay to have internal or external whys. You should have both. And that I don't think one really, when it comes down to it, outweighs the other. They're just different. You know, me looking outside of myself, thinking about spending more time with my son and being able to provide. You know, that is an outside thing I see. But that aligns, of course, with my values, being a man, my thought of what that means to me that I've broken down. It's another thought, the concept of what being a man is and engineering myself, engineering my own thoughts. That's what we're doing here. We're engineering our thoughts. It's like this is one area where I have a little bit different or maybe deeper take than my coach, Michael Burt, he talks a lot about external motivators. And I'm saying have a harmony between external and internal. The other external motivators can just be competition. I am more of a challenge. I see people, I say challenge again is the internal thing. You know, me challenging myself to be that. And then I get competitive when I'm like, okay, you standing in my way, or it could just be friendly competition. I'm looking up to you. I want to be where you at. You doing big things that excites me. So this is where the external piece come in. For me, it's more in the moment, here and there. However, I try to, part of my habits every day, this is another, God talking about goals now, is when I wake up in the morning, I take a breath, tap into my vision and my goals for that day, and my values, It's really my vision and my values. Goals also, that's more tasks of the day, playing out the day. But my values, just tap in real quick to who I am. Is this the journey I'm on? Is this my authentic self? You know, tap into that feeling that's so deep that I don't have words for it. So why do you do what you want to do? Are you primarily looking outside of yourself or inside of yourself? Do that more, tap into that, and let's keep moving forward. Travis Sotawell, it's Pure Sound Daily Business. Peace.